Hi, and welcome back to another family reaction video. This time we're going to be checking out something that encompasses all of America yet again.
Yes.
But today I think this is bizarre things you can't do in America, and I think this might be related to like strange laws and stuff like that that prohibit you from doing things that are bizarre.
Okay.
Yeah, or the fact that you can't do them is bizarre.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm interested, actually.
But before we get started, guys, make sure you go and check out our merch. We've just released it. Check out the link in the description. Go over there and you might find something that you like. And yeah, it helps. It's going to help us get over to America sooner. So I'm going to put the profits towards that. And yeah, having our first family trip to America is going to be amazing. We can't wait. But anyway, let's get straight into the video.
Every country has one or two weird laws that seem to make absolutely no sense. But the good old US of A has way more than its fair share. This is in part due to the US's federal system, which gives local governments more power to dictate their own legislation. The sad fact is that many archaic laws exist because of the personal views and experiences of lawyers and politicians. And often, they were simply written to control the general public, back when they relied heavily on laws to dictate their behavior. Some of these rules concern public safety and decency, and probably made a lot of sense when they were written. But others, well, I can't imagine that they ever made sense. So here are 20 bizarre things you can't do in America. Number 20. Underwater whistling in Vermont. Vermont has a number of bonkers laws.
What?
The silliest one by far is that it's illegal to whistle under the water. The reason for this rule is to protect marine life, as whistling near marine mammals such as dolphins or whales can interfere with their echolocation, leaving them stranded. Which makes it extra bizarre since Vermont is a landlocked state.
It's got no coastline.
Is a mystery.
But can I just say something? Like, okay, yeah, I understand that it messes with marine life.
Yeah.
But is that like a hobby or something? Like, are there like underwater whistlers that you like?
You want to meet up on the weekend for an underwater whistle?
And then
you're under arrest.
Yeah. But then the other thing is like, who's going to be around to report or witness the crime?
The dolphins.
Yeah, the dolphins. But then it's like, you know, and he comes in on the weekend and he's like, I have to confess something, guys.
I whistle.
I whistle underwater.
Maybe they have like special monitors under
How
there.
do you even whistle underwater?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or you're sitting there in the cell and they're like, what are you in here for? Whistling underwater.
All right, let's carry on.
Whistling needs air both inside and outside of your mouth.
Exactly.
So common sense would tell you that it's impossible to do it anyway. Well, actually, it's entirely possible.
Oh, do you need a special...
19. Police can bite dogs in Ohio. In Paulding, Ohio, police have a strange and special power that cops in other parts of the U.S. aren't lucky enough to have. They are allowed to bite a dog if they think they're pulling the dog down. It's unclear where this law originated.
You're allowed to bite dogs.
There seem to be many examples of police officers taking advantage of this rule. And I mean, why would they? I can't see how biting a dog would do anything but further enrage it.
Might give the dog rabies.
Bear wrestling in Alabama.
Bear wrestling.
The Alabama Senate voted 23-0 to make it illegal to conduct bear wrestling matches for profit. It also became a Class B felony to surgically alter a bear or to train it to wrestle. This might sound like a stupid law, but bear wrestling used to be a surprisingly popular pastime all across the U.S., which is why it was introduced. This guy took on a bear at the 1972 Iowa State Fair. And in 1987, Ginger the bear took on several Mississippi residents.
Do they
Number
die?
17. No nukes in California. According to section 9.60.030 of Chico's Municipal Code, it's illegal to build or test nuclear bombs in the city. The ruling declares that the threat of a nuclear war that nobody would survive is unacceptable.
I can get behind that
states
one.
that no person shall produce, test, maintain, or store within the city a nuclear weapon, component of a nuclear weapon delivery system, or component of a nuclear weapon delivery system. There's no mention of what would happen if you exploded a nuke, or what the punishment would be, but $500 is the limit for any city infraction. A $500 fine would be the least of everyone's worries if someone had a nuclear bomb.
True.
And besides, who's going to collect the fine if we're all fried? Number 16. Mustache kissing in Iowa.
Pardon?
Bad luck, hipsters. If you have a mustache, you're not allowed to kiss a woman in public.
What?
According to dumblaws.com, it's also illegal for a kiss to last longer than 5 minutes in Iowa.
We can't
So
kiss
it
in
might
another
not be
one.
the best
Whoa.
fit for honeymooners. There are some
yeah, I'm
laws
out.
over the existence
You're out.
of this law, but I, for one, won't be risking a smooch in Iowa anytime soon. Number 15.
We should live in Iowa.
Don't poke
What happens if
Sasquatch
you
in
do?
Washington State.
You're like, you go
Whether
to
or
jail.
not Sasquatch even exists is a debate that's raged on for over 200 years. But Washington State isn't taking any chances. Just in case the mythical beast does exist, they've introduced a law which prohibits the poaching of it. In 1991, Whatcom County declared its land to be an official Sasquatch protection and refuge area. The reasoning is that if Sasquatch does exist, it's an endangered species that needs protecting. And it's because of this twisted logic that Skamania County has listed Bigfoot poaching as a felony since 1969.
Whoa.
Number 14. No burping in church in Nebraska. Nebraska lawmakers take the sanctity of church very seriously, and unruly children will not be tolerated. So much so, in fact, that if one is caught burping, their parents could easily be carted off to jail.
Whoa.
Also prohibits sneezing, which seems a little unfair as it's a totally uncontrollable bodily function. It's also illegal to hunt whales in Nebraska, which might seem like a sensible rule, until you consider that it's a landlocked state that doesn't even have a single whale in captivity.
Oh, my
Number
goodness.
15. No ugly faces at dogs in Oklahoma. I'm a huge fan of doggos, but Oklahoma lawmakers might just take the crown for being the #1 canine fans after they introduced a silly rule to protect dogs' feelings.
Oh,
People who make
man.
ugly faces at dogs can be fined, jailed, or both. It doesn't say what happens if you simply have an ugly face and get caught looking at a dog. I can only imagine that a politician's dog was personally offended by an ugly face at some point in history to make this laughable rule a reality.
Oh my
Number
goodness.
12. No fishing on a camel in Idaho. Protection law now, and this one's taking care of not one, but all species at once. In Boise, Idaho, it is prohibited to fish while you're on any animal's back.
What?
And that includes the camels. Now,
Wow.
I know
Why
this probably
would
ruins
you?
your weekend plans, but laws are laws. The 1917 ruling actually made it illegal to fish from the back of any animal, and the 1920 Fish and Game rule later stated that it is unlawful to fish for trout from the back of any animal or to travel up or down any stream on back of animal while fishing for trout. Consider yourself warned, fishing fans. Number 11. Squeaky clean in Arizona. Remember your parents telling you that they'd wash your mouth out with soap and water if they caught you swearing? Well, maybe that's where Mojave County in Arizona got the idea for their bizarre soap rule. If you're found stealing soap there, you must wash yourself until the bar of soap has been completely used up. I
Whoa.
suppose it's what you'd be doing anyway if you picked up the soap in prison.
It's
Number
like
10.
it's like you know, when you get caught smoking cigarettes, they
Watch
make you smoke
yourself
the whole
on a
pack.
Sunday
Yeah.
in New York. This state has a law stating that you may not walk around with an ice cream cone in your pocket on the day of rest. Why
Only on
anybody would
Sundays.
stuff an ice cream cone into their pocket is beyond me.
What?
But it must have been a big enough issue to write legislation to combat the issue.
Oh,
According to some
man.
sources, it might have been the cone law that led to the creation of the ice cream sundae.
Ah.
What do you think? Number
Mm.
9. No crossing into Minnesota wearing poultry. If you were considering wearing a chicken or a duck as a headdress while crossing into Minnesota, think again. According to gunlaws.com, it's completely
Denzel was just
illegal
like-
in Pennsylvania and
What
Utah.
head are you wearing? The
The
chicken?
validity of this regulation
Not today.
is
Yeah.
debated, but animal rights laws surely prohibit the use of live animals for fashion accessories. So you better not do it just to be on the safe side. Number 8. Sunshine is guaranteed in California. Florida may be known as the Sunshine State, but it's actually California who deserves that title. A local San Francisco law states that sunshine is guaranteed for the masses.
It's actually a
According to
law.
lawinfo.com, it's unclear whether this was taken from a foundational document, another similar statute, planning laws, or whether it exists at all. But one thing's for sure, landowners are entitled to maintain their access to air, water, and light. Number 7. The death penalty for New York jumpers. Sadly, the main reason a person would jump off a building is to end their life. But New York lawmakers seem to have overlooked that fact. It's said that the punishment for jumping off a building in this state is death.
What?
Seems like overkill to me. This law seems to be related to the illegality of suicide, as ending your own life was illegal in 30 states as late as the 1980s. Number 6. Don't look at a moose in Alaska. In Alaska, you can look at a moose. Just not if you're in a plane. The law actually states that you can't fly in a plane the same day that you hunt. This is to stop you scouting for an animal before landing the
makes
plane to
sense.
find
Okay.
it and shoot it, which actually makes a fair bit of
It
sense.
does.
Shame Alaska ruined it for themselves by creating another bonkers law. According to legislation, you cannot bring your pet flamingo into a barbershop. It's
Oh,
actually
man.
all animals that are banned from barbershops, and they're also not allowed into any establishment for the practice of hairdressing or beauty treatment. Huh? Wow, Alaska is a really weird place. Who would have thought it? Number 5. Fried chicken faux pas in Georgia. It's no secret that the southern states take their fried chicken very seriously. And one visitor fell foul of this when she was arrested on her 91st birthday for breaking a poultry law. Jenny Dietrich was busted eating fried chicken with a fork. And according to an ordinance passed in Gainesville, Georgia in 1961, it's a crime against the city to eat fried chicken, a culinary delicacy sacred to this municipality, this county, this state, this Southland, and this republic with anything other than your fingers. The ordinance was originally introduced as a publicity stunt to promote Gainesville as the poultry capital of the world, but some cops are clearly upholding the ruling.
Come on.
Don't let the chicken cross the road in Georgia. Why did the chicken cross the road? Well, in Georgia, it may have been to make a political statement, because it's illegal for them to do so. No, seriously. The town of Quitman has a local ordinance that makes it illegal to allow chickens to cross an open road. This is surely for the
How could
safety
you,
of drivers using
like,
the
even
roads,
allow
but I'm
chickens?
Are you
not
gonna
entirely
arrest the
sure
chicken?
how the law is enforced. Number 3. Greasy crimes in North Carolina.
But can you stop it with a fork?
As of 2013, it became a felony to steal more than $1,000 worth of grease. Who's stealing that much grease? Or any grease at all, for
What
that
the
matter.
heck?
The grease law was part of 16 bills that were passed at the same time, and the others make much more sense.
You make a law
From legal
for a
protection for
robber.
out-of-state
Yeah.
doctors to
Like,
more
the
stringent
robber would
background
just
checks
go
for
in and
people
take
working
it
in
anyway,
daycares.
'cause
But what's
he's
with
a
the grease
robber.
bill? Well, apparently law enforcement officers weren't taking the crime seriously. What was once a worthless commodity is now apparently worth stealing, so something had to be done. You learn something new every day, huh? Number 2. No biting in Rhode Island.
Oh, man.
Another person's leg in Rhode Island isn't allowed. It feels as though that should be a given, though. Well, apparently lawmakers felt the need to write it into their legislation. According to one section of the state's legal code, there's a penalty for any person who shall voluntarily, maliciously, or of purpose put out an eye, slit the nose, ear, or lip, or cut off, bite off, or disable any limb or member of another. The punishment is between 1 and 20 years in prison, so no matter how tempted you get, it's best that you don't gnaw on anyone's limbs, no matter how
Okay.
irritating you
Okay.
might find them. Number 1. No sleeping in an Illinois cheese factory. We all
What?
found ourselves drifting off after too much camembert. But be careful where you catch those post-cheese Z's, as in Illinois, it's against the law to sleep in a cheese factory. According to the Sanitary Food Preparation Act, it's unlawful to sleep in not only a cheese shop, but also a creamery, bakery, or any other place where food is prepared for sale. I can only imagine the predicament faced by those guys in charge of sampling the produce at the factory. It's probably for the best, though. Think of the nightmares they'd have after all that.
That cheese.
I hope we made it to the end of this video without losing total faith in the U.S. legal system. Have you broken any of the laws on my list? Let me know down in the comments.
Oh, that's
Wow.
funny.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I wasn't
Is
expecting
that a
it.
show?
No.
Like-
no,
Are they
these
real?
Actual, no, they're actual laws.
Are you sure?
Yep, they're for sure. They're 100% real laws.
Oh man, that got me out the gate.
Wow.
I was expecting some like actual law like stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this would be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
my
if
God.
we go in and whistle underwater to see if it's true, and then, like, we see a policeman coming towards
And
us,
we're like-
Policeman
Like-
with a little, like, light on his head.
Swims towards
yeah. You're allowed to bite dogs,
yeah.
but you can't pull ugly faces at them.
no, you can't bite dogs.
You
No,
Oh,
you
no, you
can.
can. The policeman
The,
can.
only
Yeah.
the police can
Yeah.
bite the dogs.
Yeah.
Like, normally it would be the opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that one, make sure you smash the like button as usual, and also go and check out our merch. Use the link down in the description to go and see if maybe there's something that you like, and also go over to Instagram.
Yes.
What else are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, let us know if you've ever been arrested for any of these.
Oh yeah. Or if you've known anyone that's been arrested.
Yeah.
Or maybe not for some of these, but for just another stupid rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a stupid law. And make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And also, we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.